Hey guys, welcome back to another flashlight review. Today, really excited, I'm going to be looking at the Olight Warrior Mini 3, and I've reviewed quite a few Olights now, but this is my absolute favorite one, and I'm going to let you know why, so make sure you watch on. This is straight out of the box, it looks incredible. I mean, you can see here, it comes with a few different color variations, but I got the one with the blue and the black kind of gradient. I think it's got a nice, bold design. Looks different. It's very eye-catching compared to a lot of other flashlights with just normal black anodizing. And another thing is that I really like how Olight uses this knurling pattern. It's just, don't know what about it. It's just very grippy, and it reminds me of those kind of massage grip things. So yeah, it doubles as a bonus fidget toy. So this is what you pretty much get in the box. You have a instruction manual, and the box here, I'll just bring it up a little bit closer to the camera so you can see the specifications of the light here. If you want to pause the video and take a look. Magnetic charger. You've also got a little stand. It's basically you stick it onto a cupboard, on the top of a cupboard or a shelf or something like that. And then you've got a magnetic tail switch here that attaches to it. You also have an included battery, 18650 battery, proprietary cell, and this is the Olight cell. And I really like that they've included a 3500 milliamp hour cell. It's a high capacity cell, high discharge as well. And it's a proprietary cell, but the great thing about it is I've noticed the positive terminal sticks out a lot more than the one I have on the 21700, the 21700 cell. And so I can actually charge this in a normal charger. So my X-Tar VC8, which I have at home, which makes it so much easier if I want to charge multiple batteries at the same time. If I don't want to bring this magnetic charger with me, that's also an option. So really happy that Olight have done that. Here's a comparison between the Warrior Mini 3 with a few of my other flashlights, and you can see this is why I really love this light so much. It is tiny, but it really packs a punch. This is smaller than the Convoy S2 Plus, which is pretty surprising. You've got the Spiraz AEST, and then you've got these other lights here, which are kind of longer and basically have a reflector in there. So that does lengthen the flashlight a little bit. This is the Warrior 3S. Okay, so it's a larger brother. Probably the only smallest flashlights that I have, 18650 flashlights, are these two, the Sofern SC18 and the SC32. But even so, the Warrior Mini 3 is still thinner. It's got a smaller diameter if you sort of stand them up like this. So very impressive, and I just love the look and the performance. So here's a closer up of the Warrior Mini 3. Flawless machining. Love the anodizing as well. It's grippier compared to my Warrior X3 and my Warrior 3S. Uses more of a slippery anodizing, but this one does have more grip on it. And the gradient color is also unique. Really like that. They must have had to do half of it first and then layer the second color on afterwards. Large tactical switch that doubles as a magnetic charging port as well. And Olight are using something called nano molding technology. So it allows the direct bonding of plastic and metal. You can see that here in the switch. So there's no recessed areas where the dust can get stuck. Olight are using a very strong magnet in the tail as well. So no issues with it sticking on something above or on the side of a table. And one thing I find a bit difficult to explain is sometimes the feeling of a flashlight. And I'm talking about that now because the tail switch just is so satisfying. I don't know what it is. It feels it's kind of firm, but it's got a very satisfying kind of sound. And it's fairly silent as well. But yeah, it doesn't make any sort of annoying click. But it's just kind of fun to press. Dual stage. So you got a half press and full press to access different modes. Here you can see under the hood, you've got an SFT40 with the TIR lens. And the TIR lens is quite interesting because it's recessed in the center. I've never seen a design like that before. So there's kind of a concave area in the center. Most of these TIR lenses are completely flat, and The lens in general was recessed from the bezel, which is good news, so that you don't get it accidentally scratched up or something. Nice crenulated bezel, and I like how Olight are now just smoothing it off a little bit so it doesn't have any sharp points. So very nice, still be able to break a window with that. Another cool thing Olight have included is they have put a proximity sensor in here. Okay, you can just kind of see it there in the corner, but it's mostly hidden compared to the Warrior 3S, which I'll just grab over here. There you go, the proximity sensor is there, so it's very obvious, the 3S. But yeah, they've hidden it here. So I'm going to go through a UI demonstration, just show you how the light's used. So you've got two switches. You've got the switch on the back, you've got the side switch. So we'll start with the side switch first. So press and hold, okay? And that gives you access to moonlight mode. This is a proper moonlight mode, 1 lumen. Really great when you're in pitch darkness, pitch black, and press and hold again. Get into this first mode, second, third, okay? And then it just cycles through this low, medium, high mode, okay? But if you start off on moonlight, press and hold, then it will cycle to low, medium, high, okay? Has memory mode as well. And what happens is that if you double press, the side switch allows you to get access to the turbo mode. Triple click will give you access to strobe. You can also lock the flashlight by holding this button side switch down for 3 seconds. So 1, 2, 3. Okay, so when you press it, this little red light will come on. Okay, to unlock, just press and hold again, and then it will just activate that lowest mode. So moonlight. Okay, the great thing is that you can actually activate, you can just activate moonlight mode, switch it on, okay, switch it off and on with the side switch, and it will memorize moonlight mode. Okay, but as soon as you go into the other modes, you can't go back into moonlight. With the tail switch, couple of functions here. So half press will get you access to medium mode. Okay, now the cool thing is that if you press and hold half press, okay, it goes into momentary. Okay, so momentary medium mode. Same thing if you want to go turbo, which is a full press. Okay, oops, full press, turbo. Okay, and then release, and you've got momentary turbo. If you want to activate continuous turbo, just press that end button quickly once, and you have access to that. And this kind of reminded me to talk about the proximity sensor. Now, if the proximity sensor has been blocked, so say my hand's here, say the light's in your bag, and it activates, it will come down automatically. Okay, so as you can see, it's ramps down. Okay, but if you say activate turbo like this, and there's no obstruction, then you put your hand in the way or something, it doesn't step down. Okay, so see, steps down because there's already something blocking, but it's not blocking. Hand here, doesn't step down. So this is good if you are using it outside. Perhaps you're illuminating a target or something like that, and you just don't want that light to step down. For example, even if it's raining or something like that, sometimes that can get in the way of the proximity sensor. Another thing you can do is that even if the proximity sensor is activated, so if I go double press, you can actually double press again to activate turbo, disable that proximity sensor. This is a similar feature that you see also with the Warrior 3S. All right, ran a couple of ceiling bounce tests to see how this light performs. And this is the first one on turbo, and you can see activate turbo 100%, slowly starts to step down to about 90%, but you get just over a minute's runtime on turbo. Really impressive given how small the actual light is. Okay, it ramps down to just over 20% of its output. Okay, but it manages to hold that. And I did activate turbo again at the 6-minute mark. It does ramp up a little bit, but comes back down again in about 30 seconds. So yeah, it does have some type of temperature sensor in there, and of course steps back down to about 20%. But it's good to see that when you have that flashlight, you know, when you're turning that flashlight onto turbo the first time, you do get some significant, you know, just over a minute's use of turbo, and you can reactivate. I think it's quite impressive because I do have some larger lights that immediately start to ramp down to 50% of its output within 30 seconds. So I think Olight have done a great job here. It's not overly hot as well, just warm. Here is a second ceiling bounce test. So I ran this one on high, so the third mode that you can access in the light. And look at that, really great performance, 100%. Ran the test past 14 minutes and well-regulated output, so it doesn't drop at all from 100%. Also ran some tests on my Olight Master Pro, and on turbo, I measured 262 meters of throw. Isn't that incredible? The tiny little bezel like that, little light that fits in your pocket. I'm super impressed. Color rendering index 69.7, and the CCT was interesting. So it started off around 5,800 and made its way up to 6,400 on turbo. So it increases as you increase the light output. So some considerations you might want to be aware of. So you've got that proprietary charging and battery, not everyone's cup of tea, but the good news is that the positive terminal of the 18650 cell sticks out more on this battery, so I can charge it with my external charger. I use an X-Tar VC8. So really glad that Olight have done that. Another thing is that I think it might have a plastic lens on here. I don't want to scratch it to find out, but it tends to be standard with all these TIR lights. It's good that it is recessed a significant amount, so I don't see too much of an issue there. Overall, I'm really impressed with this light. It's interesting design, visually attractive as well. Just looks so cool and doesn't sacrifice on function as well. Kind of like an all-in-one package. Like that Olight have refined the proximity sensor, changed some of the settings on it so that it, if it's blocking an object, it will deactivate, but if it's already on turbo and you block the proximity sensor, it doesn't obstruct, doesn't ramp down. And yeah, I just like the feel of the light and the button. It's amazing how Olight have kept this design small but incredibly powerful. I like the feel of the light, the buttons, the side switch buttons made of metal as well as the back button, knurling. The overall look of this makes it one of my favorite EDC lights, and the fact that you can use it as a tactical flashlight as well with that end switch really seals the deal for me. And I normally hesitate carrying around much smaller lights like this because they don't have that tactical functionality, and they've also got decreased output, decreased throw, but none of those are an issue with the Warrior Mini 3. So highly recommended if you don't mind the proprietary battery. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments and I'll get back to you. And do me a favor, click the like button. That will help me get this video out to more people. If you also want to see me make more reviews, make sure you subscribe. Thanks for watching. All right, Olight Warrior Mini 3. That's on the highest mode. Wow. We'll cycle through those other modes as well. So I'll just show you what they look like. 3, that's the third mode. It's kind of like a high mode, I suppose. And then you've got a medium mode, which I think satisfies most purposes, but it's difficult to see here on camera. Okay, got up to about 100, close to 100 meters. It does well. Okay, but yeah, the high mode gives you decent amount of spill. With these TIR reflectors, you need a decent amount of light going through them for it to actually push out that spill properly. Okay, and again, turbo. The turbo is ridiculous. Look at that. And I love that you have this tactical switch on the back, so you can just press and hold. Wow, or press and hold halfway to get this medium tactical mode. Medium tactical mode, look at that. And then you can switch to, you can half press, then full press, and you get access to that one, and then let go and that's it. Or you can quick press and it turns on permanently, turn off, half press, and it will just activate it. Sustained output. Okay. Olight have really got the UI right on these things. So intuitive. Ridiculously powerful for just a little pocket flashlight. I almost can't believe that it's reaching all the way to the end. It's almost unbelievable. It's tiny, this thing just almost fits in my coin pocket. And you've got some decent sustained output as well. It's getting kind of warm. Which I actually like tonight. It's bloody cold in Melbourne for some reason tonight. Warrior Mini 3.